Hi everyone and welcome back to the WARNO May monthly tournament for the final two games that we will be casting, one today and one tomorrow. These are Zoo Animal versus Jasp. In this one we have Zoo Animal on the left in red playing as the 5th Panzers, and on the right hand side we have Jasp in blue playing as the 39th Infantry Division. Now I've been assured by Zoo Animal that these are good games, so if they're bad it's his fault. We see an early push by the looks of it to some extent from Jasp there. Quite a few Razvedka and things pushing down that road there. And some Razvedka heading this way as well. Quite a lot of infantry coming in down the back. Possibly going to Foxtrot, possibly going elsewhere. Very little in the way of defense, however, for Foxtrot. Up at the top of the map we see slightly more going in defensively for Jasp here. Possibly a lot of this potentially going to this area to protect this road and possibly push up here to stop reinforcements. The majority of Zoo Animal's forces all pushing towards the center. Looks like Zoo Animal is going all in on the center there. Jasp is sending all of those units towards the center as well. So it's going to be a big fight in the center. Very little sent here. I mean, if Jasp had done the usual early attack on Foxtrot, he would have stormed in there. Zoo Animal was not ready for that at all. He's just got 2 units. Missed opportunity. Lots of stuff happening up here, though. But good positioning from Zoo Animal. Milan's pushing up there. Looks like Jasp's just getting into defensive position as well. He has very little in Alpha. At the moment, Jasp with the units inside the center point. Zoo Animal kind of stuck outside at the moment, but he does have a few tanks coming in, including a 2A3. A little bit of movement here from these units pushing up. Command coming in. Another command in Charlie already. That one looks like it's heading straight for the center. This one could be heading to... Oh no, it's stopped in Charlie. This one could be heading to Golf, or possibly to Charlie if that one's going to move later. T62... I'm not sure what that T62 is doing. Okay, it was going one way and then changed its mind. The Lux is dead. Just the Fence Fayer left here. I mean, Jasp could have this point. With just a few squads of infantry, he would make it an absolute nightmare for Zoo Animal to push back in. Surely he knows there's nothing there now. Okay, maybe not in the buildings. Most reinforcements coming in at the top for Zoo Animal. He's just trying to reinforce the center, and he is pushing in. Oh, nice shot. Making good use of his tank power. BRM1 is not going to last long against a 2A3. Though, credit to it, it did get a shot on the 2A3. One shot. Cluster coming in there. That might be a good strike. The Leopard's going to get hit, I think. Oh, that was absolutely beautiful. SU-24M cluster from Jasp took out both the tanks there. The 2A3 and the 1A5. There is another 2A3 on the way in, though. Taking shots at these units that are pushing down from the top for Jasp. He wants to control this area. He knows how important it is. It stops you getting reinforcements down that road. Still no real movement at the bottom and no real movement at the top. That T62 MV finally getting somewhere near the front lines. Command is in Golf with absolutely zero defense. There's absolutely nothing stopping those Fence Fayers going in there and trying to kill that. Not that they would, because they've only got satchels, but you get my point. Units here, but nothing in the middle. This is a weird game at the bottom from both players. Zoo Animal now in complete control of the center, has completely pushed out Jasp. Zoo Animal has to be happy with that. I mean, that's after Jasp has killed both of his tanks that were there. And yet he's still in complete control. These forces pushing down slowly. He is taking lots of damage to some stuff, though. That's routed the T62. SU-25 AT coming in to go for that Leopard. One strike. 2 strikes. Beautiful kill. He will probably lose that SU-25, though. He's going to be very lucky if that... There it goes. It is down. I was going to say, if that survived all of that fire, it would have been a very lucky jet. Probably worth it in the grand scheme of things because it means his tanks can potentially advance, so he needs to be careful of that Milan getting a side shot. He really needs to get that tank out the way. Now it's going to get side shot. There it goes, dead. Unlucky. HE bomber coming in there, dropping on these troops at the front. Lovely strike, one squad dead, the other squad is injured. Good use of bombers from both players here. Very used to being used as anti-infantry there as a retreat. Motostrelki coming in there now. Reinforcement being called in now at the bottom for Zoo Animal. He obviously wants to secure this lower point, perhaps. Also notice a command being called in there. Currently 500 points to Jasp with +4, as there have been no commands called in, but there are commands coming in now for Zoo Animal. Yes, he is behind, however, he could easily make up those points, especially while being in complete control of the centre of the map. This is going to be an uphill battle for Jasp now, if he wants to get back in the centre. He might have been better off building up, you know, the odd unit down here to push into Foxtrot, or even make a move at the top of the map and cut off reinforcements completely by taking Hotel. But at the moment, there's not a lot down here for Zoo Animal in the grand scheme of things. But the supporting fire from the Lux is quite nice. There's a Milan coming across there. Fucks Milan, which will provide some supporting fire. Though it is in range of the anti-tank rockets here, so it'll probably die if the Jaeger stands still for a moment. BMP-1P all the way back there needs repairing. Monstraki were being charged up to try and kill that Lux, but will not succeed. 3 more tanks in this area now for Zoo Animal. He's got a 2 A3 and 2 1A5s. Providing good fire support will make it extra difficult for Jasp to get back into that centre point. Jasp is still +2, now at 700 points. It is now neutralised. Command is coming in for Zoo Animal at the bottom, so he will be +2 shortly. However, there's also command going into Alpha for Jasp, so it's still going to be neutralised. It's all about who's going to get something in the centre. Because neither player is really building up enough forces to push into either the top or bottom points, and frankly right now either player could do that. There's nothing defending either of the top points and nothing really defending either of the bottom points. So this would be a very easy way for either player to get a little bit ahead by expending some resources on that. Right now for me, Zoo Animal is probably the one that can afford to do that. Because he's defending here, he just needs to hold. He just needs to play carefully with his tanks and things and keep pulling back, pushing in, pulling back, pushing in. Just to do damage. Make use of aircraft as well, though he needs to be aware that there is some anti-air there. There's a Motostrelki coming in at the top now, not sure where they're going. Sapori coming in and a rocket helicopter. Risky at this stage. There is a lot of anti-air on the field for Zoo Animal, so it's a bit of a risky maneuver. Alouette pushing down here. He maybe knows these Radovedska are there. They won't stay hidden for long, that's for sure. They've actually opened fire on the Alouette, so he definitely knows they're there now. Will he get within range of that Iltis? He's very close to it. Motostrelki going up here for Jasp as well to kill that CV. Jasp going to get some CV snipes here potentially. Pushing across there. The Alouette can't actually do anything about them. And he's not paying attention because that Iltis is not moving, so it's about to die. There it goes. One dead command, back to +2 for Jasp. Could very, very shortly be +4 again. These Motostrelki, however, pushing round towards the bottom, thinking that that command won't be in the centre. The obvious places are these corners usually, not necessarily right smack bang in the middle of the point. Good force building up from Jasp in this corner. And he's bringing in plenty of Motostrelki here. But really, he just needs to be in this forest. It's no good having them up here. Because he can't push through this open ground without smoke. Another command coming in. We'll be going to Foxtrot. Needs to be careful with that command, though, because the Radvezka are still there. I mean, a beautiful position for those Radvezka right now would be right in the edge of this town here. Not the edge of the town, right in the edge of the forest, sorry. And if they sit there, they could probably snipe this CV as it comes across. I don't think he's going to move them, but that would be a lovely position for him. HE Bomber came in there, not sure what it's... Oh, it did a strike in the centre here. Not sure if it killed very much. This Leopard is still fairly intact. There's a lot of Motostrelki here, but he's pushing across open ground, and it's not the best idea versus tanks. Motostrelki are getting some shots off, though, on that tank, and it's kind of unsupported. There's a 1A5 there, and there's a 1A5 there that will get some shots, but nope, it's dead. Very far forward without enough support. Risky position for you to have your tanks in. Ah, very clever. Zoo Animal bringing the Iltis in around the bottom there rather than down that main road. So those Radvezka wouldn't have got it anyway. However, command is now dead up here as well. Those Motostrelki finally got their way around. Those Jaeger came in to defend that, but didn't realise that the Motostrelki were already there. That is unfortunate. Radvezka trying to run away. Won't get very far. Still +4 currently. About to be +2 again for Jasp. But he is keeping his point advantage. Command vehicle coming in here though, which will swing it in Zoo Animal's favour. +1. He will finally perhaps be getting some points in this game. Jasp is putting up a hell of a fight, considering it felt like he was going to be on the back foot after Zoo Animal did such a good job of pushing in the centre. But once again, in these tournaments, we are seeing a lack of people defending their command vehicles. And it is costing them lots of points in these games. It is an extra expense to put infantry around your command vehicles, but sometimes the extra expense is worth it. The other thing you can do in this situation is put empty transport vehicles around your CVs. Something that people usually do is just sell all of their transports. They are still useful for scouting, and they are still useful for using as a distraction or to place around your commands, so you get advanced warning of something coming towards those command vehicles potentially. Something to be aware of, because it's always overlooked. +2 currently to Jasp, because obviously the command in Juliet is dead, and the command that was in the centre has been pulled out. I'm not sure why Zoano's pulled that out. I suppose it would be at risk. Command, however, in the centre for Jasp. He's now going to be +5 points. Not for very long, as this Iltis command is heading back to Juliet. I tell you what, if nothing else, Jasp has forced Zoo Animal to spend a lot of money on commands. And he's pushing back hard in the centre. He's managed to gain all this ground. Look at how far up he's got now with his troops. He's going to be taking a lot of fire from this area, though. Really, this is like bombing run central. Could do with a couple of cluster bombers just laying waste to this entire area. A little bit of movement up here. There are some units pushed a little bit further forward for Zoo Animal. There's not a lot defending. I think Jasp bringing in a little bit to defend now. That was a Tornado. HE Bomber came in there. I think striking these up here possibly did some damage. T-62 being pushed up there. Needs to be careful with that. There is a Milan there still. There are tanks up there. There are two 2A3s coming in. One has just been killed by those Conkers, I think. What was that he lost? I think that was just a 1A5, but it's still a big loss. Still very little movement at the bottom of the map for either player. I mean, there is nothing defending Golf at all. This entire area is empty. He could walk across here and not even be seen. little bit more difficult here. There is stuff watching, so, you know, it'll be harder to get from Alpha Hut to Hotel. But Jasp reasonably in control of this point. That command still not in the point as well. Really impressed with the pushback from Jasp. Jasp killing those CVs has cost ZooAnimal a lot. He's had to buy a lot of extra CVs. 2 CVs there. That's an extra 200 odd points, which he hasn't spent on infantry and things for the centre. And ZooAnimal is relying heavily on tanks. Little push up here, but smattering of defensive units for Jasp. ZooAnimal would have been better off pushing the bottom, but Jasp now bringing in a few units down here. Certainly the BRM-1 will be for recon. Strike there, trying to get that Leopard 2A3. Unfortunately, the jet was lost. Managed to kill that tank as well. Single squad of Sapri pushing up here. Going up against Pioneer Flams. Unfortunately, without getting in range, is going to die very quickly to the Pioneer Flams. Currently neutralized in points, but Jasp well ahead. We need to see some impressive turnaround from ZooAnimal to get a lot more points. He needs to start killing CVs. But Jasp is getting himself into a defended position now. He's slowly moving in units in various points just to secure areas. Realistically, Jasp has done enough now if he can hold. The game is over. He has won this game if he can hold. If ZooAnimal can't push in and take a point, kill some CVs, Jasp's already won this game. And Jasp mentality is likely switched to one of, well, I just need to defend now. And for Jasp, that's ideal, because one issue with the 39th is eventually you feel like you run out of infantry. And that's how I always feel. Even though it's an infantry division, one thing I always feel like is I eventually run out of infantry with them. I mean, Jasp has a pretty firm control of the centre here. Obviously, there's a lot of units pushing through here. That 2A3 will be an issue for all of these Sapri. But the Conkers will get a shot on that. But equally, the Conkers are going to take a lot of damage from a Leopard. He needs to be charging all of these Sapri in together to get the kills, because the Fernspeyer have satchel charges too. That looked like an attack move. They didn't actually charge in. He needs to get them moving. A little bit of movement up here. Looks like ZooAnimal is making a push for the point. I think he could actually get in there potentially. He needs to get past the Sapri RPO. Preferably kill them before he gets too close to them that they can fire. Though lots of reinforcements coming in for the top now for Jasp. Some reinforcements coming in for ZooAnimal as well though. Still very little happening at the bottom. Something we've seen a few times in this round of the tournament is not a lot of people pushing these bottom 2 points most of the time. Cluster Bomber and HE Bomber coming in, sending in multiple bombers at once. Good way to distract the air defenses. I think that's very nice strike. Wow, I thought those bombs were going nowhere near. I thought they were up here somewhere, but that was a perfect strike. Both those planes getting kills. Killed the tank, killed the infantry. That's a good move. And there was no AA over that side, so both those planes should escape unscathed. Very nice. As I say, some good bombing runs in this game. ZooAnimal trying to make a push in. Whizzing around with that Iltis. He wants to be careful getting it too close to Jasp's forces up here. He perhaps doesn't know that they're there, is all I can think. But they are pretty close to... They could side shot that. Well, front shot it, but from this side. Leopard 2A3 there, fairly up close and personal to enemy forces. Will be taking various missile hits if they can actually get a shot. So, Jasp held off some of the attack there. He's marked the command, though the command is running away again. M48's out on the field now. Surprised we didn't see more of them earlier in the game, especially in the center point. They are so good when you can get up close and personal, and this is a good place to get up close and personal because you can bring them down the sides. And they're a lot cheaper than bringing in 2A3s all the time. Zoo Animal now plus 3 points, which is not a bad position to be in. 18 minutes left to go in this game. Plenty of reinforcements still coming in. Jasp is holding. With very few units at the top here, might I add. But he is holding. Though those Radvedka are going to die to the Panzer Grenadiers. He really needs to reinforce that point somehow. I'm really, really genuinely surprised he hasn't put more into Alpha. I mean, Zoo Animal's about to take the middle completely. Not really much happening at the bottom of the map still. I mean, these two squads of Razvedka have not moved since the start of the game. I would have been tempted to push at least one across into the center to have a look and see what's in there. Because he could have easily killed these Fernsphere and moved his own command in. I'm genuinely surprised Jasp hasn't tried that. Jasp still trying to push this area here when really he needs to secure Alpha. He's about to have stuff coming around behind these units. He's going to be surrounded. He's still calling in stuff at the bottom. I think he's still wanting to try and fight for Delta in the middle, but he's about to lose Alpha. He'd be better off defending that and then going in to try and attack Delta once Zoo Animal has spread his forces out in a defensive perimeter. Because right now he's still got lots clustered in the center. But this is how the game can switch. Those Radvedska now moving. It's like he was listening to me in the past. Zoo Animal still plus 3 points. I mean, Jasp is well ahead, but honestly, Zoo Animal could easily now recoup this game. He's going to take Alpha. He could be plus 5 very shortly. These Radvedska going in now at this point in the game, it's not going to be enough. Because Zoo Animal's going to bring in, yeah. I knew before I even scrolled across he was going to be bringing in reinforcements. Zoo Animal is in a really good position now. He has overwhelming force on the field. He's calling in plenty of units. It's going to be an absolute nightmare for Jasp to push back in here again. He's done it once. Very successfully, might I add. But it's going to be even harder the second time. And he's currently losing this top point. I'm surprised that he hasn't lost it already. How that command has not been killed, I genuinely don't know. Those Panzer Grenadiers are still fully healed. He's actually bringing in his own command to neutralize it. I'm trying to think what the answer is for Jasp here. There's a chance he could get a good bombing strike and kill a lot of this infantry because it's all piled up. These Sapri are certainly going to cause him issues if they can get close enough to start throwing their charges. Leopard 2A3 taking a lot of missile fire. But there's the neutralization, so it's +5 to Zoo Animal. If he can kill that CV, it'll be +7. Anti-air jet coming in to kill that chopper. The rocket chopper is a bit of an issue, but it is dead very quickly. He wants to be careful how he's evacing that, though. So it will be flying over the center, which has air defenses. And it's dead. That's unfortunate for him. HE bomber coming in now. Where's it dropping? I think he was going to try and kill the CV. Good attempted strike. Probably would have killed it if he hadn't moved it out of the way. But Zoo Animal was well aware and shifted it. The fact that Zoo Animal still hasn't killed this CV is amazing to me. He was so close with his infantry. And he just couldn't see them because they're in the building. Reinforcements now in for Jasp. But at +5, I actually think that Zoo Animal is going to win this. Reinforcements in to defend Foxtrot. Reasonable amount of units here defending. It's a Leopard command tank, so it's going to be harder to kill. And down here in Delta, Zoo Animal has lost all his forces that he pushed out here. So there is a chance Jasp can push back into this point again. I'm not going to say he can't, because he's done it once before. And I thought at that point he was on the back foot. And then he pushed it back. And it looked like Zoo Animal was on the back foot. And then Zoo Animal has turned it around again. HE bomber coming in. Does he know where that commander is? No, he's going to kill the Motostrelki. Launch past. Look at this. Jasp has just charged past all of Zoo Animal's units and is going for the kill on the command vehicle in Hotel. Is going to be met by a bunch of Leopard 1A1A1s, though, that I suspect Zoo Animal has redirected there. And there is also a Leopard 2A3 coming in that direction. Good maneuver. Going for the CV snipe. It's not a bad option at all. And my 24 coming in as well. It's an AA1, though, weirdly. And an MI8 MTA recon chopper. That's a weird thing to bring in, the anti-air one. And the little attacking force, good effort by Jasp to push it around the back, but those Leopard 1A1A1s made very short work of it. So basically the big battle is down here now. And I genuinely think that Jasp is going to have trouble getting in. It is now +7 as that command has finally been killed. Zoo Animal about to take over in points. Still very little movement of these Razvedka. They sort of went up, saw there were units there, and then got pulled back. Jasp is getting back in the center, though. Look at this. He has whittled down Zoo Animal's forces bit by bit. And Zoo Animal isn't really reinforcing this point. I'm genuinely surprised he hasn't put more units in here. He's got all these leopards up here. He needs to redirect all these forces down to the middle. +4 now to Zoo Animal. The middle will be overrun by Jasp very shortly. Units now being called in, but it's going to be too late. He's going to lose his command here, probably. T80. Got a good hit on that leopard. It must have already been damaged. Another leopard coming in that's fully healed. Has managed to kill the T80. But there's plenty of infantry here. 10 minutes left of this game. +4 still to Zoo Animal because he controls the top point. It's going to be +1 soon because He's going to lose this Iltis, surely. I mean, this is a attack move, everything, by Jasp. He has to kill this CV to be in with a chance of winning this game, or it's just going to be Zoo Animals win. HE Bomber coming in for him as well. I assume dropping on this area. Might kill some anti-air there. No, it didn't. Did a little bit of damage, just routed the Jeopard, but that command is dead. Back to +1 for Zoo Animal. Panzergrenadiers all the way up here are going into Charlie. Will be aiming to kill that CV. Then they're probably going to get spotted by that helicopter and equally get shot at by that tank when it comes into range. Are they going to be lucky and get in the forest in time? Yes, they are. Very lucky. So he might kill that CV if he can find it. Still +1 to Zoo Animal. I don't think that Zoo Animal is going to be dislodged from that top point. Lots of reinforcements now arriving in the middle for Zoo Animal. That AA jet still just flying around. I don't think it was meant to be. I think he kind of forgot about it. These Panzergrenadiers running around the top here. Did kill that tank that came through. Obviously that means that Jasp will be aware that those Panzergrenadiers are there. He has lost a couple of troops as well from that squad. A little bit of a pushback coming from Zoo Animal on the centre point. Still +1 for Zoo Animal. He is ahead in points, but it could all turn around still. Panzergrenadier running this way. I don't know if he knows where the command is. I think he's just hunting for it still. Trying to keep away from that chopper, I imagine. I do think that chopper was possibly called in to get rearmed because there was a supply vehicle coming in. Maybe he hasn't seen these Panzergrenadiers. Is he lining up on them? He's not within range of the Gatling gun. He has landed it for repair and rearm. That CV is dead. Back to +6 now. Wait, did he kill 2 CVs? No, he neutralized the center again. Okay. So he re-neutralized the center. So +6 to Zoo Animal. He's going to win on points. What a turnaround. What an absolute turnaround. It genuinely looked like at one point Jasp could just build a defensive line and hold and win on points that he had. But that was an amazing pushback from Zoo Animal. Kills to losses, 1,500-ish ahead. Really well played, Zoo Animal. Really well played. What did well there? Milan got a few kills. Leopard's got a few kills. Leopard 2A3 doing amazing as always. That was a really good game, guys. So I'll let you off, Zoo Animal. You're right, that was a really good game. I enjoyed that one. There was a lot of back and forth. Really impressed by both of you there. Less impressed that neither of you pushed the bottom points when there was absolutely nothing there for either of you, though. But really good game either way. I really enjoyed that. Some really good bombing runs from both of you, especially from Jasp. And really good fight back from Jasp and Zoo Animal in that game at various points. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please do like, share and subscribe. Tune in tomorrow for the second game to see who comes out on top. Will it be another victory for Zoo Animal, or will Jasp pull it back and win the second game? Thanks for watching again. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow.